So let's talk about dreams. I have very funky, strange, and downright weird dreams on the regular, and I remember them all very vividly, for the most part anyway. But the latest one I wanted to talk about is something very strange has happened to me, and there's probably some analysis that you can do to sort of get to the bottom of this, know what the hell's going on inside this crazy brain. But let's talk about it. Maybe you've had a similar experience, and if you have, drop it in the comments below. So the night starts out normal. My head is on the pillow. I'm going to sleep, waiting for the trippiest of trippiest dreams to come, as they always do. So things are happening. I'm in the streets. I'm in like some sort of slums, and I remember feeling uneasy, and something wasn't right, and the world didn't seem. It's sort of a dystopian world, empty, sort of something like The Last of Us. And I come across this dog, and this dog looks injured and needs help, almost like it's trapped and waiting for someone to help it. So me being the kind-hearted human being that I am, even in my dreams, I go over and I help said dog, and I free it from its current state, and I give it a bit of a pet, and I find it some food. And then the dog sort of follows me home. Back at my shelter, which I share with my family, I show them the dog. They don't seem best pleased at first, but that's just because I brought a stray animal home, and who knows what is actually going on in the world at this time. Usually my dreams are focused around some post-apocalyptic scenario, or some fantasy creatures like vampires, zombies, those sort of things. But they didn't seem too happy when I brought this dog home. But I took it to my room, and I was sort of petting the dog. And then the dog stuck its paw into my mouth and tried to claw with its claws the back teeth out of my mouth. Now naturally, I stopped the dog doing this and I removed its paw. But it was doing so in such a calm manner, and it was conveying an almost helpful demeanour, that it was doing me a favour by sticking its dirty paw inside my mouth. So when it tried to do it a second time, I sort of let it do its thing and go ahead with it, and it pulled the back tooth out of my jaw. And I experienced no pain when this happened. But what I noticed was something was still sticking out of my gum, and it was almost like a thread. So I stuck my fingers into my jaw, and I'm pulling on this thread, and I'm pulling and I'm pulling, and I yank, and something pops, and out comes this wire, and at the end of this wire is almost like a little computer chip, a little circuit board, and then there's still something there, and I pull another one, and then with each chip that I pulled out, so there was only a couple, I sort of sensed this release, and I sensed things changing around me, and I looked at the dog, and the dog looked back at me, and we sort of understood each other. Something had shifted, something had changed, and it was almost as if the dog had nodded at me in acknowledgement that it did me a favour, and I'm now released from something. And I could, all of a sudden, everything seemed different. It no longer seemed dystopian. Everything seemed to change colour. And so things were more of a grayscale at this point. But what I noticed is I came down the stairs to sort of show my family. I was like, what the hell have I just pulled out of my mouth? So I went downstairs with the dog. And they all just sort of stood there, as if they knew what had happened, staring at me. And then I noticed they sort of didn't look like them anymore. They had this look of disapproval. They had these glowing eyes, and they almost looked possessed. And at that point, they just started charging at me and sort of chasing towards me. And it was like a veil had been lifted, and I'd been living a lie. And then all of the people that I thought were on my side suddenly started coming at me, and trying to attack me. So me and the dog bolted outside the house, but we could only run for so long, and then we decided that, look, we're going to have to fight. And we turned around and we started fighting these sort of, the only way I can describe it is if you take a cross between the Agent Smith in the Matrix with something from The Exorcism, and they sort of merge them into one, It was like possessed demon agents stopping me from escaping the Matrix because they know I've unplugged myself, and that's how it felt. And so anyway, me and the dog are fighting. We're fighting these agent-possessed, freaky versions of my family and friends, and we're fighting and we're fighting and we're fighting. It all comes to an end, and we do win the fight. We manage to knock them out, and then we sort of run, we escape, and find new shelter in a new area. But we've got this sense of enlightenment now, and we know that, there's people not to be trusted. We know that we can now see who can be trusted. We can see the evil in their eyes, and it was a very weird sort of experience. There was other things that happened before and after, but they didn't sort of co-align with this story. Sometimes my dreams sort of spiral off into different subplots. But anyway, that's it. And then at that point I woke up and I was, in a little bit of a hot sweat, as you always do. My dreams often lead me to toss and turn, or to wake up in a hot sweat. But the interesting thing is, about this dream, is I've been having wisdom tooth pain for over a week now. And since that dream I woke up, the tooth pain is gone. But my tooth is definitely still there. But the tooth pain isn't. And I couldn't eat properly. I was in constant agony. You could see it on my face just looking at me. I was in pain, and it's gone. So some mysterious dog in my dream has reached in and removed my tooth pain. How do you analyze that one? So let's try and analyze it a little bit. So I did what any sane human being would do. I took to the internet. I went to dreammean.org, hoping to find some answers. Now, I couldn't exactly just say, look, this is what happened. The dog pulled my tooth out. I found a computer chip, escaped the Matrix, and then fought some evil agents. Could I? That sounded a bit crazy. But I searched for some key meanings. Now, I know teeth means something, and I know animals mean something. So teeth, apparently if you dream about teeth, and this is in any regards, anything can happen, is a symbolism for misfortune, struggle, and health. An ordinary dream involving teeth often foretells unpleasant encounters with sickness or troubling people. Each scenario related to teeth in dreams can symbolize a range of misfortunes or personal struggles. Dreaming of loose teeth suggests impending failure and bad news. Losing teeth entirely indicates burdens that could rush your pride or disrupt your affairs. If teeth are knocked out, it symbolizes sudden misfortune such as business loss or close encounters with accidents or death. Spitting out teeth in a dream may foretell personal illness or sickness with your immediate family. Decayed or damaged teeth represent poor health or intense stress. Now here's where it gets interesting. So dental procedures. A doctor pulling out a tooth, desperate illness, possibly fatal, and lingering. Now that's a doctor pulling out your teeth. It doesn't mention anything about dogs pulling out your teeth, and I did search, I couldn't find anything. Often what they say is if you dream about teeth, if your teeth are crumbling, decaying, or falling out, it's to do with your self-image, and you're worried about how others perceive you and how you are doing. But where does that coincide with computer chips and dogs? So let's move on to dogs. So apparently, dreams about dogs can symbolize loyalty, protection, and instincts. A dog may represent companionship, loyalty, or suppressed anger. It can reflect a trusted friendship or underlying fears, depending on the dog's behavior. Aggressive dogs can symbolize betrayal, while playful dogs signify new friendships. Dreaming of dogs often touches on themes of loyalty, protection, and emotions related to relationships. So that's interesting. So it's to do with relationships and the emotion that the dog portrays. Now, the dog was very calm and friendly and sort of, I would describe it as a wise dog. I feel like there was more going on in that dog's mind, and it knew to help me. I feel like there was maybe a spirit in there trying to protect me. So there's some other information here about dreaming about dogs. So dreaming of dogs depends on whether or not the dog is known to us. If the dog is known, the dream can represent happy memories. If the dog is unknown, the dog may represent qualities of loyalty and unconditional love. Dogs can symbolize unbridled joy, constant affection, and enthusiastic loyalty. A dog in a dream connects to our own capacity to remain constant in love and affection. Dogs represent the masculine principle of straightforwardness and confidence. Different types of dogs can embody a variety of qualities, from rescuer to attacker. Being chased by a black dog suggests a fear of depression. So the dog was black, but it was friendly and it was helping me, and it did not chase me. I found it, I helped it, and I approached it. A dead dog can represent the death of a friendship, and the birth of a puppy can signify the arrival of a new friendship. Dogs, as animals who guard the underworld, can be messengers of the unconscious. So that one's interesting. I have no idea what that actually means. Messenger. Is someone trying to send me a message from the underworld? And if so, was that message to fix my toothache? Because if so, message received, and I'm really happy about it. and then it moves on to talking about drinking dog's milk, different types of dog barks, different types of dog breeds, and they all mean different things. But none of it really was relevant. And in fact, none of this has really helped me at all. All I know is that, the dream was weird, but it fixed my toothache. If you've got any ideas, let me know in the comments. Have you had a dream like that, where the dream has had real life alterations? So this dream, definitely I went to bed with the toothache and I woke up without it, and it was the exact tooth that got pulled, and all the rest of the stuff was totally weird, but the toothache is gone. So how does that work? So tell me about some of your weird dreams in the comments if you want. Feel free to analyze my dream. If you want to hear more of my weird dreams, I have got tons up in here that I could tell you a story about, get them analysed. Usually a lot of them are fresh. Sometimes, when you wake up and a lot of the dream is still fresh, for me that can stay for a long time, but also there are elements of the dream that I will lose almost instantaneously, but there is a lot of it that stays. And I've had some very weird dreams. I've been through some very weird nights in my life. So there you go. But updates on VR. So that was my dream. I've got some good videos coming up, I think. I hope you like them. So I've got a review coming early next week on a very specific piece of hardware that you should be interested in. So keep your eyes out for that one. I've got some good games that are coming up. So there's some decent October releases for VR that I'm hoping to cover. I've got a new accessory for the Meta Quest, which is the Logitech MX Ink, which is the sort of pen that you can pair with your headset and use that as a controller. So I'm going to use that with some different art applications and show you how that looks. So there's some good things coming to the channel, hopefully some good reviews, and some showcasing of some good games and hardware. So I hope you enjoy it. If you enjoyed this video, then give it a like, give it a comment, and if you haven't already subscribed, it really helps the channel. But I shall see you on the next video. Bye bye.